Most retirees are miserable, and nobody warned you it was coming. You spent decades building a career, raising a family, showing up, and now that it's finally your time, you feel lost, purposeless, like someone pulled the floor out from under you. Here's what nobody tells you. Retirement doesn't come with an instruction manual. And 1/3 of retirees say they are no happier after leaving work than before. Some are far worse off, but what if retirement isn't ending you worse off? What if it's the most powerful reset of your entire life? Today I'm giving you 5 practical tips to make that true for you. Stay with me. Step 2 alone will completely change how you see yourself. Studies confirm it. For every retiree celebrating freedom, there's another one drowning in loneliness, boredom, and a creeping sense of invisibility. The structure is gone. The colleagues are gone. The sense of daily purpose, gone. And the rocking chair? That's not peace. That's slow disappearance. If you're new here, I'm Jan, founder of the Golden Age lifestyle, and I spent years helping retirees do what most people think is impossible: build a retirement life that's more fulfilling than their career ever was. In this video, I'm walking you through the exact framework that transformed my own retirement. Not theory, not fluff, real steps that work. And the first one, most people completely skip it and pay the price for years. You're watching this because something inside you knows retirement can be more than this, more than errands and TV, more than waiting for the grandkids to visit, more than killing time until you run out of it. It absolutely can be. The retirees who thrive, who truly love this chapter, they aren't lucky. They made specific choices, and those choices are learnable. Here are 5 of them. Let's get into it. For too long, retirement has been sold as a finish line. Cross it and coast. That framing is killing people slowly, quietly, and completely unnecessarily. The retirees who flourish treat this phase as a starting gun, not as a finish line. They design their own course. They pursue growth they never had time for. They come alive in ways that careers never allowed. Your post-career years can be a positive renaissance if you approach them with intention. 5 steps, practical, proven, and completely within your reach. Here's the first one, and it's the one everything else depends on. Let's be honest about what's actually happening. Retirement brings real fear, not just excitement. Fear of losing your identity, fear of empty days, fear of waking up one morning and not knowing who you are without your job title. That fear is valid. Your career gave you structure, community, and purpose all at once. When it ends, so do all 3 simultaneously. But here's the reframe. That discomfort isn't a sign something is wrong. It's a sign something significant is shifting. And significant shifts handled right lead somewhere extraordinary. Step 1 addresses the foundation that makes everything else possible. Step 1, build your physical and emotional foundation. Your body and mind are the vehicle for everything that comes next. If the engine is broken, the destination doesn't matter. This isn't about vanity or longevity statistics. It's about showing up for your own life without energy, clarity, and emotional stability to actually enjoy it. The research is ambitious. Regular physical activity reduces the risk of heart diseases, diabetes, and certain cancers. It sharpens cognition. It stabilizes mood. The retirees who report the highest satisfaction, virtually all of them prioritize movement. 150 to 300 minutes of moderate exercise per week is the target. And walking counts. Swimming counts. A dance class counts. The activity matters less than the consistency. Emotionally, this phase demands something most careers never required: the ability to sit with uncertainty and navigate change without a script. That's a skill. It can be developed, and here's how to build both foundations, starting this week. Ditch the workouts you hate. Seriously. Sustainable movement comes from enjoyment, not discipline. Daily walks, Tai Chi, gardening, swimming, group fitness. Find what you will actually do on a Tuesday when motivation is low. Consistency beats intensity every time. A walking partner helps, so does treating movement as a part of your identity, not just your schedule. Now, movement is only half of the physical equation. What you put in matters just as much. Whole foods, vegetables, fruits, lean proteins, whole grains, not a revolutionary concept, but dramatically underapplied. Nutrition directly affects mental clarity, emotional stability, and energy levels. Most people treat diet as a physical health issue. It's equally a mental health issue. What you eat shapes how you think and feel every single day. Get that right, and everything else gets easier. But there's a third pillar most people overlook entirely. Sleep patterns shift with age. That's normal. But treating poor sleep as inevitable is a mistake. Restful sleep is when your body repairs, your brain consolidates memory, and your emotional regulation resets. Skimping on it accelerates cognitive decline and emotional instability. Two things you cannot afford in this chapter. Build a consistent bedtime routine, reduce screens before bed, make sleep non-negotiable, not an afterthought. One more piece of this foundation, and it might be the most overlooked one. Stress in retirement looks different than it did at work, but it's still there. Financial worries, health scares, relationship changes, the quiet anxiety of unstructured time. Mindfulness, breath work, and journaling are not soft suggestions. They are evidence-backed tools for emotional regulation. Use them. And this matters. If you're feeling overwhelmed, reach out to a friend, a professional, anyone. Isolation compounds every problem. Connection solves more than you would expect. Get this foundation right, and you will have the energy and stability to do everything that follows. Step 2 is where things start to get genuinely exciting. Step 2, rebuild your identity around what matters now. Here's an identity crisis nobody prepares you for. For decades, you had a title, a role, a clear answer to what do you do? When that's gone, a surprisingly large part of your sense of self goes with it. Nearly a quarter of retirees report struggling to find purpose, and that struggle leads directly to depression. But this is also the most exciting opportunity retirement hands you. the chance to build an identity from the inside out, instead of inheriting one from your employer. Who are you beyond what you produced? What lights you up, independent of performance metrics? This is the question retirement demands you answer. And the answer, when you find it, is more energizing than any promotion you ever got. Here's how to start finding it. Give yourself permission to explore. What have you always wanted to try, learn, or become, but never had time for? This is not a rhetorical question. Write down the answers. Mentoring, volunteering, creative work, community involvement. These aren't hobbies. They are identity building blocks. Many retirees discover their most meaningful contribution to the world happens after the career ends, not during it. But exploration without direction drifts. You need something to aim at. Set goals that excite you. Goals that don't have to be ambitious to be powerful. They just have to be yours. Learn a language, write your memoirs, restore furniture, organize a neighborhood project, master something that has nothing to do with your former profession. The specific goal matters less than having one. Direction creates momentum. Momentum creates confidence. Confidence opens doors. And there's one structural tool that makes all of this sustainable. Total freedom sounds appealing. In practice, it's disorienting. A loose daily rhythm. Mornings for focus activity, afternoons for social engagement, evenings for rest. Give your days shape without suffocating them. It's a framework, not a prison. Routine is the difference between a day that happens to you and a day you design. Build one that reflects who you are becoming, not who you used to be. Once your identity is grounded, step 3 is where your days start to feel genuinely alive. Step number 3, keep learning, keep creating. Here's something neuroscience confirms. A brain that keeps learning stays sharper longer. New learning forms new neural connections. It delays cognitive decline. It lowers dementia risk. And beyond brain health, it keeps life interesting in a way that's hard to replicate any other way. Retirees who pursue learning and creative hobbies report better memory, stronger problem solving, higher self-esteem, and wider social circles. This isn't coincidence. Engaged minds attract engaged people. Here's how to stay in that category. Adult education classes, online courses, library workshops, community college programs. Access to learning has never been more available or more affordable. Pick something that truly interests you, not something you think you should learn. Curiosity is the fuel. Follow it. And don't overlook what happens when you create. Not just consume. Create something. Painting, writing, music, ceramics, woodworking. Creative work does something intellectual learning alone cannot. It gives you flow. Flow is the physiological state where you are fully absorbed in something challenging and enjoyable. It's one of the most reliable sources of happiness humans experience. Retirees who build creative practice into their lives report dramatically higher well-being. It doesn't have to be good, it has to be yours. Find your hobby or rediscover an old one. Gardening, bird watching, cooking, dancing, astronomy, book clubs, woodworking, you name it. The list is endless, and the right one is deeply personal. Some people find unexpected joy in adopting a pet. It creates routine, demands movement, and provides companionship. All three are retirement gold. The point is engagement. An engaged life is a satisfying life. But there's one more element that research consistently ranks above all others. Don't dismiss technology. Video calls, online communities, digital learning platforms, health tracking. Technology isn't just for younger generations. Learning to use it confidently opens up connections, information, and opportunity that would otherwise be inaccessible. It's worth the learning curve. Retirees who embrace it consistently report feeling less isolated and more capable, which leads directly into step 4, perhaps the most important step of all. Step 4, invest in your relationships. Loneliness in retirement isn't just unpleasant, it's dangerous. Social isolation is a documented risk factor for depression, cognitive decline, and early mortality. The data on this is not subtle. Strong social bonds correlate with better health outcomes, lower stress, longer life, and significantly higher reported happiness. Retirement removes the built-in social structure of work. Colleagues' daily interaction, shared purpose, all of it disappears on the same day. Replacing it requires deliberate effort. Here's how to make that effort count. Don't wait for invitations. They may not come, not because people don't care, but because everyone is busy and assumes you are fine. Schedule regular contact with people who matter. A weekly coffee, a monthly dinner, a standing phone call. Put it on the calendar and protect it like an appointment. But you also need to expand your circle, not just maintain the existing one. Join groups built around shared interests, book clubs, hiking groups, gardening societies, language exchange meetups, volunteer organizations. Shared activity is the fastest route to genuine connection. You don't need to manufacture common ground. The group does it for you. Show up consistently and relationships form naturally. There's one type of social engagement that does something the others can't. Volunteering and mentoring. Create a particular kind of connection, one built around contribution, not just companionship. Sharing your expertise with people who need it isn't just meaningful, it connects you across generations, keeps your skills sharp, and generates a sense of purpose that's hard to find elsewhere. Many retirees describe this as the most fulfilling thing they do. It's worth trying before dismissing it. Use your community, senior centers, libraries, community organizations. These exist specifically to support social engagement for older adults. They are underused and undervalued. Research from the state of Utah in the US found that retirees who maintained strong community ties reported dramatically higher happiness levels. The variable wasn't wealth, health, or geography. It was connection. And some of the most powerful connections come from smallest interactions. Don't underestimate small moments. A conversation with the neighbor, a regular order at the local cafe where the staff know your name, a brief exchange at a community event. Small social interactions compound. They create a sense of being known, of mattering to your immediate world. That feeling is more valuable than most people realize until it's gone. Build your tribe intentionally. It pays dividends in every dimension of life. Now, step 5 is where all of this becomes real. Step 5, start small. Start now. Inspiration without action is just entertainment. For sure, you have seen retirees who transformed their lives, started businesses, wrote books, built communities, discovered passions they didn't know they had. What separates them from ones still waiting for the right moment? They started with one small thing before they felt ready. Small actions break inertia. They build confidence. They create evidence that change is possible. Neuroscience confirms it. Consistent small steps physically rewire your brain toward new patterns. You can't think your way to a new life. You have to act your way there. And here's how. Find people who are thriving in retirement, in your community, online, anywhere. Read their stories, talk to them. Notice that virtually none of them made one dramatic leap. They tried one volunteer shift, signed up for one class, spent 1 hour a week on something new. That's how reinvention actually works. Incrementally, quietly, until one day it isn't incremental anymore, but there is a mindset that makes all of this either accelerate or stall. The willingness to be bad at something new is the price of admission to a more interesting life. Most retirees who successfully learn new skills, including technology, creative crafts, even starting businesses, describe feeling nervous and under-prepared at the start. They did it anyway. The gap between uncomfortable and capable is shorter than it looks from the outside. You don't have to feel ready, you just have to start. Decades of professional experience, problem solving and navigating complexity give you something younger people simply don't have yet. Context. That context is valuable. Teaching, coaching, consulting, launching a passion project, building something from scratch. Your background isn't a limitation here. It's your foundation. The question isn't whether you have something to offer. The question is where you want to offer it. And the final piece of this framework is the simplest and the most powerful. Don't plan the whole journey. Take one step. A 15-minute walk, a Google search for a local club, one phone call to someone you have been meaning to reconnect with. 3 things you're honestly curious about, written down on paper. The first action is the hardest, the most important. It proves to yourself that movement is possible. Everything after that is momentum. Here's the full picture. Step 1, build your physical emotional foundation. Move consistently, eat well, sleep properly, manage stress. This is the infrastructure of everything else. Step 2, rebuild your identity. Explore new roles, set meaningful goals, build a routine that reflects who you are becoming. Step 3, keep learning and creating. Stay mentally engaged. Pursue hobbies. Discover new passions. Step 4, Invest in relationships. Build your social network intentionally. Fight isolation actively. Step 5. Take small, consistent action. Start before you feel ready. Build momentum, one step at a time. This isn't a checklist, it's a compass. You have just consumed a lot of information. Now comes the part that changes things. Pick the one step from this framework that landed hardest for you. Not the most impressive one, the one that felt most true. What is one thing you can do this week to move toward it? Not next month, this week. Write it down. Seriously, write it down. Everything I have just shared is the path I walked myself, starting around age 60. When retirement was approaching and I had no real plan beyond a vague sense that I needed one, I was nearly the rocking chair retiree. Yes, seriously. Crosswords and fading. That was the trajectory. What changed everything was a decision most people in my position would never have considered. I started an online business. No background in it, no roadmap, just curiosity and willingness to start before I felt ready. It didn't just fill my time, it rewired my sense of who I was and what I was capable of. I made a full video about that journey, the real version, including what didn't work. The link is in the description below. And if you're curious about what the business itself looks like, that link is in there too. If this gave you something useful, a new perspective, a specific idea, even just a sense that this chapter can be more than you thought, I would absolutely love to know. Drop a comment below and tell me which of the 5 steps hit closest to home. Or if you are already thriving in retirement, share what's working for you. Your experience might be exactly what someone else needs to read today. And if you want more content built around living with intention at this stage of life, subscribe and turn on notifications. I put out videos specifically for people who refuse to let retirement be the end of the story. The video coming up here on the screen will give you the missing piece almost all people mix up to be effective versus efficient. And you need to apply both. Take a look when you're ready. You might recognize something of yourself in it. Now go make something happen.